First and 10 for the Tigers at the 22-yard line. Bowers wants to throw. Looks into the end zone. Is going to overshoot the intended receiver as Johnson wanted the pass interference. Does not get the flag. It'll bring up second down and 10. Looking at Crescent this year, 254 yards rushing the football this year, 176 through the air. So a well-balanced offense, 430 yards per game. As mentioned, they're already over 100 yards in this one, in danger of getting on the scoreboard once again. Second down, 10.
I love the old school football. You run it with fullbacks, and you play action, and you run that waggle play. Here comes another Q sweep.
On the right side, across the 20. And the Tigers will make it a third down and manageable here with Bowers on the right side.
So if you want to bring in linebackers in the middle of the box and blitz, whatever gap you want to blitz, the adjustment's going to be to bring in two fullbacks and then a tailback that can all block, and then just run your quarterback to the edge away from a blitz, and now you're talking about two fullbacks and a running back against a defensive end and safeties.
Third down and 6. If you don't get it here, you're in 4-down territory.
Yeah, you could run Q sweep either way twice and probably get this one, you would think.
9 seconds on the play clock. Bowers, boy, he looks like a running back in there. Takes the offensive snap, runs it on the left guard, has a big hole to run. He's headed to the end zone. 5, touchdown. Bowers, his second of the game. Tigers back on the scoreboard.
It's just a simple numbers game. It's math. You know, when you talk about a 3-3 defense, an odd stack, and you talk about linebackers that are blitzing in the middle of the defense, when you get numbers with fullbacks and a quarterback that can run it to the edge either way, it becomes a game of math. And the offense has the defense outnumbered. There's no way they can counter that. Coach Fisher, understanding that, knows what to go to offensively and runs it right down the field with Hunter Bowers as quarterback.
Trying to make it a 14-7 ball game. Did it get in there? It did not. Extra point is no good. Wide left, your new score with 3:56 to play in the first quarter. Crescent Tigers 13. Rejoice Christian Eagles 7. Timeout from Crescent, Oklahoma. This is Tiger football. On the kickoff return here, the Eagle retreats backwards to the other side of the field, and the Tigers were able to take him down on the return there with Stephen Johnson, the senior. And the Rejoice Eagles, 4 plays, 60 yards of offense so far, takes over. First down and 10.
You know, we talk about each week the 3 phases of the game: offense, defense, special teams. They all have to work together. You had, obviously, a score where Bowers ran it in on a 2 Q sweeps. Then you had a good kick cover. Now you need to complete the circuit with a good defensive stop here and completely gain momentum.
Crescent Tigers, 7 plays, 69 yards, 18-yard touchdown run for Bowers. As we resume action here, handoff on first down, and maybe a yard or two for the Eagle running back. Appears to be Mr. Crow. First time we said his name, and we expect him to be busy throughout the night.
And have not seen a whole lot of read option, and that is because when you have Musil and you have Bowers on the edge at linebacker, they're just going to blow up the mesh point. You don't have time to sit there and try to read the defense when you have athletes like that out on the edge.
2-yard pickup, tackle by Emery. Second down and 8 for the Eagles. They look to throw. Here does Walker. Steps up and will be dragged down as a couple of Tigers are able to get their big paws on him. It's going to be a loss on the play for Rejoice Christian. Was that 61? Dawson Hornbeck, 6', 230-pound defensive lineman junior, takes him down for the loss, and a 3-yard loss, third down 10.
That's something Walker is used to doing. That was not a design quarterback draw, but they will empty the backfield. They will go with one back, swing him out, and then run Walker on those quarterback draws, so he's good at it. So to see a defensive lineman be able to stay with him athletically and bring him down, that is very impressive.
Walker to throw on third down and 10, flushed out of the pocket, throws it on the run, center field, it's incomplete, and Rejoice Christian caught the punt away for the second time. Going back to the previous play, Casey, I saw what Walker saw was a big gap, but they were able to collapse on that pretty quickly.
And when you're playing a team that is faster and closes the gap faster than any other team you played this year, maybe other than Afton, we'll have to see, but it looks like there's a hole that's open, and then it closes faster than you're used to. So what looks like 7 or 8 yards, you end up having to actually make a move behind the line of scrimmage just to get any yards, and that's kind of where Rejoice is at. They have not adjusted to the team speed of the Crescent Tigers yet.
Low line drive punt takes a big eagle bounce out around midfield, and so Crescent Tigers will have great field position once again, first down and 10. And again, after that, by the way, was a 32-yard punt, but after the opening turnover, Crescent's able to drive down the field and score twice, where Rejoice Christian had to depend on a little bit of a trickery with the halfback touchdown pass.
And you found the kryptonite to that odd stack. It's the 30 personnel, 2 sniffer, 2 fullback, whatever you want to call them, and then the Q sweep behind that. Having said that, you completed the circuit. Offense scored, defense got a 3-and-out. Obviously, that was set up by a good kick cover. This is where you would want to go deep and try to big play Rejoice Christian if you had it in your playbook.
First down and 10 from midfield. Bowers under center. Headed off to the fullback, and they're going to go backwards a couple of yards. Second down and 12 as we come up on 2:13, 2:12 to play here in the first quarter. Musil on the carry. Tigers with a 13-7 lead.
Typically speaking, against a blitzing type 3-3 odd stack defense, the counter plays aren't real good. Either they're about a 5-yard loss like this or 3-yard loss, or they're a huge play. It's Jekyll or Hyde, and that's because there's so much penetration the way those linebackers blitz. If you hit it right, you're going to hit a seam and go big. If you don't hit it right, they're going to hit a seam and they're going to hit your running back in the backfield, and that's what happened on that first down play.
Second down and 12 for the Tigers. Ball's center field at the Tiger 48-yard line. Bowers takes the snap. He'll roll to the right side. Emery leading the way. Gets one block. Now gets a second block. That's just enough for Bowers across the 40 to the 35 on his feet. Down the sideline, pushed out of bounds inside the 30-yard line. I don't know if you want Emery blocking you or Bowers running at you, but that's what the Rejoice Christian Eagles saw. It's a first down out of bounds at the 32-yard line.
Crescent came out and ran that counter, and Coach Fisher's like, well, that was fun. Let's just go back to our bread and butter here, and let's line up a couple. This time it was Ninja, but you have the 3 receivers to this side, and let's just get a whole bunch of lead blockers, and let's let Bowers run over that right edge, right?
He did so for 20 yards. 4 receivers set here, 3 to the near side. They'll go back to Emery. Leapfrogs 1, go across the 30 to the 25. Gets a lead block. He's at the 20, to the 15, to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown, Tigers! Their third rushing touchdown of the night. They're back on the scoreboard, 19-7.
And when you have to dedicate so much attention to the quarterback run game, and especially to the edge, it's a great outside-inside combo. You have to over-leverage the outside of your defense, especially to the right side, which Rejoice Christian did. Once you over-leverage the edge, then what does Crescent do? They just hand the ball back up the middle, and they regain a numbers advantage. So by trying to gain a numbers advantage against that quarterback sweep, Rejoice Christian made themselves vulnerable up the middle. One play later, he handed off to a really good running back, Dylan Emery, who makes a couple of guys miss. Golden goal post.
32-yard run for Emery. Now the Tigers are going to go for 2 and try to get to 21 on the scoreboard. Bowers in the shotgun. Emery on the right side. They're going to run on the right side, and Bowers untouched, and the 2-point conversion is good. Now with 1:16 to play in the first quarter, the Crescent Tigers, undefeated, lead the Rejoice Christian Eagles by a score of 21-7. Timeout from Crescent, Oklahoma. This is Tiger football. Crescent Tigers back on the scoreboard. The running game, well, it's still pretty good this week, too.
Yeah.
Tigers will kick left to right. This one goes over the head across the 10, and picked up at the 5. Here comes the return to the center of the field. Is the return man, makes one guy miss, and they will bring him down inside the 10-yard line. Special teams, defense, and offense on cue so far here in the first quarter. 67 seconds to play here in the first. Tigers with a 2-touchdown lead, 21-7.
And if you're Rejoice Christian and you're up in the booth and you're trying to make adjustments, they did. They tried to adjust to that quarterback sweep that Bowers was having so much success to, and by doing that, they over-leveraged themselves to the point to where all Crescent had to do is hand it off to Dylan Emery. And if you get Dylan Emery one-on-one against a linebacker, he's going to make that guy miss every time, and he did. And once he did, it was all she wrote.
Ball's marked at the 6-yard line. It'll be first down and 10. Rejoice Christian with 59 yards of offense, and 60 of that came on the big touchdown play.
No!
It's intercepted at the 12, to the 10, inside the 5, into the end zone. Touchdown, Tigers. Musil, the defensive leader.
Musil returns the pick six for 12 yards.
Musil's like, Bowers is running all these quarterback sweeps. Emery's getting all the power plays up the middle. He's scoring. I want in on this, right? I'm just going to take this thing into my own hands. I'm going to catch an interception, and I'm going to pick six it and head back the other way. This team, this Crescent Tiger team, is impressive.